live on YouTube now, and I'm handing the meeting over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Welcome to Parks and Rec meeting Monday, June 21st, 2021, 7:00 p.m. Should we do a call to order, please?
Go to the pledge.
Well, we can do the pledge. I wasn't sure because the call to, I just did that. Okay, could we please do the Pledge of Allegiance? Okay. Okay. All righty. I pledge
Pledge
allegiance
allegiance
to
to
the
the
flag
flag of the United States of
America
America
and to the republic
for
for
which
which
it
it
stands,
stands, one nation, under
under
God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you everyone for coming. Time is precious. Your time here is precious. Thank you. Okay, approval of the agenda edition, roll
I do
call.
roll call, yeah.
Breakovich, Long Break,
Here.
Giramini,
Here,
Miller,
Here.
Carico,
Here.
Ingram,
Here.
Trongo,
Here.
Clark.
Okay, so, again, thank you for coming. Anybody have any additions or approve the agenda as is?
I have an addition for under new business. There's nothing there right now, so we'll just add Oak Island Park as A
Okay,
under new business.
You said under new businesses.
I know, I'm writing it right now. Okay, Mark, thank you.
Mhm.
And then shall we add pickleball under there? No, it's probably in
It's in
here.
here.
So, alrighty, can I ask for an approval of the agenda as is with the addition?
I approve the agenda as it is.
Second,
Okay, thank you.
roll call.
You have to do roll call.
I thought we only had to do that for monies.
As long as we're doing it on Zoom, we have to do roll call for everything.
Okay, I'm sorry, forgive me.
So once we go to in person, it'll be faster.
Alrighty, okay, so may we have a roll call, please? Is it Sherry?
All right, Breakovich, Long Break,
Yes.
Giramini,
Yes,
Miller,
Yes.
Carico,
Yes.
Ingram, Trongo.
Yes.
Hey, Mitchell,
Hey, hey,
how you feeling?
not bad.
Okay. I'm glad to hear that. Glad to see you're in one piece.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Okay, so can we have an approval of the minutes, please? We already did that.
no, we've got to approve those. I
Okay.
motion to approve the minutes.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Second.
May we have a roll call, please?
Long
Yeah.
Break,
Yes.
Giramini,
Yes,
Miller,
Yes. Beautification.
Carico,
Yes.
Ingram,
Okay.
Yes.
Trongo.
Yes.
Hey, again, thank you for coming. Thank you, Sherry, for doing this again.
No problem.
And so I guess we'll proceed with the rest of the agenda. Do we have a call from the public? Anybody out there?
There are no callers at this time.
Okay, thank you very much. So we'll go on to new business. Kathy, Tuesdays in the Park.
hold on.
No new
What?
business.
That's under continuing.
Oh, continuing, I'm
here.
sorry.
So Oak Island, we got Oak Island under new business.
Park, yes.
Yeah. So Julie and I talked about this a couple weeks ago with the administrator. We were contacted by a resident on Oak Island who's frustrated with concerned with the state of the park and the grass and things like that. So it's come in kind of poorly. So I will call that up and show it to you. So can you see there? So it's got a few bare spots. The pin oaks that they had put in, as you can see, it's not a great picture because of the light, but they are looking poor. And yeah, I was trying to, yeah, that is the word. And then there's, as you can see, there's another bare spot, and they were frustrated that apparently When it rains, it's a mud pit. When it's dry, it's a big old dust bowl kind of thing. And some of the plants beyond the pin oaks are also in bad shape. So they were looking, to get that areas, the bad areas, like here, reseeded and things like that. As it was explained to the resident, currently with the state of the DPW being down to 2 people, it's not something that can really be done right now. But I do think that we need to, in order to make sure this doesn't happen again, because this is a pretty new park. This was all done 2.5 years ago, I think. Creating a maintenance plan and a long-term plan to ensure that we don't have stuff like this happen where we invest the money in the park and then things don't go well. Obviously, reseeding is a great idea, but right now, without watering it, it's not worth doing. So we know the DPW isn't able to do that right now with the position they're in. So we're going to hold off, but maybe it's the fall, maybe it's the spring, but it may also involve working with the homeowners association of Oak Island to see if they can assist with watering. There are several residents nearby. And then I did talk to John Scott, who is a resident there, former council member, many of you probably know him, about those concerns and seeing if we could get something going with the residents there to better work out something so that the park is up to standard and looks a little better than it does. They may also try and contact the landscaper about the dead trees, see if those could be replaced within warranty. But it also goes back to just the long-term issues that we have of, if we're going to do something, we need to make a plan to
And follow
maintain it.
through.
Hey, Mark,
Because- Yes, sir.
does the HOA on Oak Island, wouldn't that be their job to take care of like the grounds?
That's a village park, not an Oak Island park specific. So it's a park, it's paid for, the village owns it, not, as opposed to say Wolverine Manor, where Mallow Beach is and everything, or Spring Lakes Estates or whatever it is. Those are private parks within their HOAs, and they take care of them and manage them. So in this case,
They don't
ours.
They don't maintain the grounds. They don't cut it. We cut it.
Yes, we cut it, we plow it, we do it all because it is a village park like Amenia. It's technically falls under the pocket park definition, but we did work with them on when we first designed it. They did have a lot of input on how it was designed and everything. So we're hopefully we can work something with them because it is hard to maintain grass otherwise, and it doesn't help. They've got, if you've ever been there are some gigantic, healthy but gigantic oaks that really bring a lot of shade. Probably water when it rains, it probably doesn't get through all those limbs and everything and the leaves.
Yeah.
That's partially some of the problems there too. But yeah, so this is something that is more of a long-term project. There's some short-term things we can do,
Yeah.
but in the long term, making sure. And then the other thing is just, as always, it's great that somebody brought it up, but the sooner you bring it up, the easier it is for us to react and respond to these things. Like in any situation, it's easier to patch a tiny pothole than it is one that can swallow a car. So it's important when people, if they see something, let us know and we can fix it and address it. And because overall, other than the trees, it looks okay, but clearly from the last time I looked at it, it did look, the trees compared to last year are far worse shape. So it's some things to work on and do a long-term address, and hopefully we can get some buy-in from the residents there to try and help us with that. And so that the park is up to standards and people can enjoy it. Because apparently people are using it. There's a lot of apparently it's basically become a dog park, and I guess people are okay with that, but they would like it to be a little more grassy. So
If we can get them to pay for it, better them better their budget than our budget, right?
Well, either that, or if it's even then,
If
it's more of even if we're having to, reseed it and stuff, if we can at least get some help with the watering, because it's not as
Right.
though we can't just, the DPW can't go there, set up a sprinkler and leave. They would have to literally bring the truck up and water the grass, and how many times a day are they going to be able to do that? It may not be the most effective system. And obviously for selecting the proper season to do it is really important, because if you do it in the middle of summer, it's just going to dry. It's going to be so dry and it's hard to get grass to grow.
Right.
Especially when you don't have an irrigation system and we don't have a well there. So a village well. So, yeah, I think we'll have to work something out with them and see if we can't get it up to standard. But I wanted to make everybody aware and see, and if there's any suggestions or ideas, we can go from there. But I think right now the best bet would be to try and get some more input from the people who are there, the residents, the HOA, and have a plan with that way.
Any discussion? Okay, thank you, Mark, very much.
Mhm.
What does it
We
say?
didn't excuse Diana.
Wouldn't know, because whether they're here or not, they're not.
Okay.
Thank you, Mark. Okay, may we move on to Tuesdays in the Park? Kathy, good job.
Basically, I think we're ready. I did not hear from Kai. I did ask if they wanted to come to be a food truck. Haven't heard back, so I'm assuming they haven't. And I didn't think to call Paige or Tabitha to see if they applied for the permit. Didn't think about that. And then Kaya is closed today. But we've got the supplies, and Julia and I are obviously going to be there early tomorrow. We're going to I'll get some ice in the morning or tomorrow afternoon and take it over into the freezer. And we got the ingredients to do the snow cones and popcorn. And I guess that's really about it. And then hopefully we're going to have great weather, and we'll be there when the Oakland Park sets everything up. And we should hopefully going to have a successful Tuesday in the parks.
Do you have
Any questions?
So do you actually have the units, the popcorn maker and the?
No, they are in the village office. I'm gonna have to go
Okay.
get those tomorrow.
Okay, I can get them because I got to go there anyways. And I
Oh,
can
thank you.
Put them in
Thank
my
you.
car and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
But I had to order the cones for the snow cones. I have not gotten any syrup yet. Been hemming and hawing on what to do that. Gordon's has some, but we'll have to pick up the bags for the popcorn. I bought more popcorn and the oil. And then the syrups are over there too, Mark.
Mhm.
So there's the box of the syrups, the
Oh, yeah.
popcorn maker and all that.
I know where all
So
that
if
is.
you want me to meet you there to help, let me know and I can.
We got I've got the cart down there and stuff I can use. And
Okay,
not my first time
all right.
hauling them around.
And then,
So,
well, I don't know, I'm gonna have to see someone to get the keys to, what I don't know, because I've never done snow cones. I don't know how much ice we should purchase. That's one thing I don't have a good handle on that.
let me think. Probably 2 large bags is sufficient.
Do like 7-pound bags or even larger,
The
the
20.
big mega ones. I'm sorry, what,
I
Mark?
think they're 20
Mhm.
All right,
large bags. I think 2 of them is usually pretty good. And that's one of those things, if we notice we're running out, you
There's
can,
a party
always run over to the party store, one of the party stores,
okay.
and get more ice if needed. But then again, it's hard to predict how many people are going to show up for this.
And
so-
then I just have to know that someone's there so we can get has the keys so we can get the ice to get into the freezer. Cause I know Julia's been talking to Andy and they got the freezer going.
Mhm.
So it's a
Okay.
matter of getting, when someone's gonna be there so I can get, put the ice in.
Yeah, I was gonna go down tomorrow just in case we need a key, because I'm not going anywhere tomorrow. I was gonna go down there before they closed if we need a key. I was gonna talk with Paige on that tomorrow morning, because Andy was going to plug the freezer in, and then usually they leave the door open because they leave it about 3:30. Well, I'll look into that tomorrow morning. I can let you know, but I know Andy takes care of that, putting it in, because he was gonna be moving the freezer into our little concession stand area, and it was gonna come out of the
No.
the
Storage room.
hallway, the little storage room, the electrical room.
So I guess my question is, what time do you think I should pick the ice up and get it there? Let's put it that way.
Can I call you first thing in the morning?
You got it. It works.
Okay, I'll call you a little after 9 and then I'll check it out and see. Thanks, darling.
Mhm.
What time do you guys need me there? I'll show up to do whatever is needed.
Well, it's 5:30 to 7:30. They'll probably come about, I'm gonna say they're usually an hour.
Half
Ahead.
hour to an hour early, yeah.
So I'm gonna be there about 4 just to make
Yeah,
sure.
I'll probably be there between 4 and 4:30. So whatever works out for your schedule, Mitch, if you can come at, 4:35, and Molly gets to come with her kids. So don't worry about coming to work, Molly. You're gonna have fun with the kids.
That's for sure.
I bought a white T-shirt for my daughter and my niece, so they're ready to do some tie dye.
All right, the squirt gun tie dye, wonderful.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so,
And then did you pick up any socks or anything like that?
oh, I did. Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes, I have socks, the larger size socks. I did
Okay.
get that. So I wouldn't mind going ahead of time to make sure we have enough of this. I know you said there were some smaller ones. To
Yeah, I'll
show you
look
how many
when
I
I'm
got.
there.
I mean, you guys have a better handle of this than I do.
I'll look when I'm there, and if I can't find them, I'll run to the dollar store and get some small socks.
Oh.
If
Yeah, I
just-
got the size 4 to 5 that was
Okay.
suggested. I got those.
Good job. It's gonna be an
Cool.
awesome day. Thank you.
Should be.
You've done an awesome job. And Mark, thank you for picking up the popcorn and.
I gotta be
popper
there
and,
anyway, so close enough to my house,
Well, thank you. That means that helps out tremendously. Does
Thanks for your
anybody
help, Mark.
have
You're
or
welcome.
Anybody have any questions or comments or? Okay, then we'll move on to item B, summer fall garage sale, August 5th through 7th. Mark, do you have any? It's just around the
Yeah,
corner.
Paige made the flyer,
Okay.
so she'll post it whenever she gets around to it, or soon when it gets a little closer to it, probably after the 3rd of July and stuff. And so
Okay.
people can start registering and get signed up for it.
All righty.
So I have a question. I don't know if you know, Mark. I know the spring newsletter comes out. Is there a summer newsletter that the village does?
No,
no?
there is a spring and a fall newsletter.
Okay.
I believe.
right.
Spring, fall, spring, winter, something like that.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
2 of them.
But we do post it online. We do post it frequently in the Spinal Column, or it'll get a mention in the Spinal Column. And then I know on Craigslist and things like that, they'll post it there as well. So,
Okay, well, thank you. And then anything you need help with, just let me know and I'll gladly do what I can to help you there.
thanks.
Okay, so item C, fishing contest. Diane and Mitchell. Mitch, do you have anything to?
No, I think next month be the month that we have to figure out what we're gonna get. I don't know, Diane, if you have some more insight on some of the things that we need to do. I think we just need to get, the prizes from my understanding. Yeah, I think that's it.
Do we need to
Go ahead.
do we need to ask for funds released for the fishing tournament so that by the time council gets it the 1st, we'll have the monies to spend?
That would probably be a good idea, so that it's otherwise, because we're in June, so
Yeah, they'll
Yes.
get July
this is
and
the
then,
month to do it. That way.
okay. Do we ask for the budget or just how much? I don't know.
I
What
would
is the budget on that?
motion to 1,000, 1,200,
For the budget?
or 1,500. I don't have it in front of me.
And do we, Mark, because I've really not been involved with the fishing contest. I know you do the prizes, but do you do like little certificates
Yes.
or participation for the kids or anything like that?
So Paige makes up these really nice certificates to give out to the kids.
Okay,
The bait shop put together for us a bunch of little giveaway bags with like fish hooks and stuff like that in there, and some bobbers and all that, and some lures. And we probably still have quite a few down there. We can go check it out. And then there, again, we can go there and talk to them too. And they're more than happy to help us out usually. And they last year, like for example, last time they just refreshed the bags because they were looking a little dingy and stuff. But I think we have quite a bit of supplies and materials left.
okay.
That we've accumulated over the years that can be used for that. And then the
Mark,
other-
do you want to go check that out? You and
Yeah,
I want to
sure.
go over and see what's there?
And then I know like the scales are down there. We probably want to make sure that, they're electronic, they should be okay. And then like the measuring sticks that we use are all there. And then The only other thing would be getting volunteers and getting boats to help with weigh-ins.
I can volunteer, but no boat.
So that's usually, and we have some people that have helped out in the past that may be willing to do so again and things like that. So we can work on that.
How many boats did we have?
Last time we did a pontoon at each end of the lake, and then we used the barge over by Penny Lake. We also had a pontoon. We had 3. Usually you have at least 3 pontoons that people can pull up to, and we've got a little banner, or like they have a post that they stick in their boat, and it's got some streamers or something on it, some little flags, so that they identify as a weigh-in station. And then of course the weigh-in station at the launch. The key is that I think would be really good this year is either it's a boat or something that is near the launch as well, acting as another weigh-in station, because most of the people, especially towards the end, 11 o'clock or so, that's where they go. And everybody's wanting to go there to weigh in and pull out and leave. If we can, it gets a little crowded, it gets a little overrun. So if we can have another place there, near there, somebody's just 20 feet off that area where people can pull up and weigh in too, that might help, because people will pull up to you during the event to weigh in fish when you're in the edge at the ends of the lake or by Penny. But then towards the end, everybody wants to get to towards that exit, because that's where a lot of them obviously launched. So that's just a nice
Okay.
we learned from last time around.
I like the idea, but I just don't want there to be any concerns as far as like, because I mean, I've got a jet ski and I've got a boat, and like when I go out on my jet ski, and it's crowded by that boat launch, like to get in, it's like a total mess. Like you got to wait for.
Oh, it is a mess. It'll be a mess. I mean, if we have a good showing, it is a messy day. Like there is a crowd. That's why we end before, technically the event runs from 6 to 11. And then we're there till about 12 or so, just finishing with the weigh-ins and stuff, because we don't want to be on the lake when people are starting to do high-speed boating. But
Yeah.
usually it does get a little messy around 11.
Yeah, I think I don't think having it by anywhere near the boat launch is a good idea personally. That's my opinion. But if in the past it's been like a concern, I just don't think, because it's just a pain in the butt in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I don't know if there's an elegant solution to it.
Yeah, it's hard because like you're right, everyone wants to get out. They're trying to get off their boats, go in, do what they got to do for the rest of the day. They're done with the fishing show, or the fishing contest, excuse me. But I just think it's nice to have that space, 50 feet around, whatever the distance is, to get out. So
Sure.
That's just my thoughts.
That'll work.
Well, thank you. And like I said, I'll be down there because I'm always up before 6 anyway, every day. So
So do we have to release any funds?
that's what I was just going to ask. Thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think we should release the budgeted funds I motion that we release the budgeted funds for the fishing contest.
I second.
Okay, could we have a roll call, please?
Longbridge,
Yes.
Jeremini,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Carrico,
Yes.
Ingram,
Yes.
Torongo,
Yes.
Breakovich.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. That's awesome. That'll get it moving when council has their meeting in July. So does anybody have any other questions or comments, or then we'll move on to D, the corn roast, September 11th. Yes, I'm
I
sorry.
do have one question. How many volunteers should we anticipate on getting?
Well, you want 3 per boat. So that's usually about 9 right there. And then you want to have at least a few people on shore, because you're going to have people weighing in on shore too. So,
Yeah, and somebody has to log in the sizes underneath what.
right, you want to have a person who weighs, you want to have a designated recorder, and then a person who helps with the weighing, and then another person there as well. It's usually a good idea to have 3.
Okay.
So usually 12 to 15, I think is the number I had last time.
Cool.
Again, I'll work with you, Mitch, because I do have somebody I've got to find. I know where I have her on my phone that put up 2 of the boats last time. So yeah, see if she's available again with her people, because that would that would take care of a lot of it,
Right.
and then go from there.
So was Diana one of those? Wasn't Diana one?
Diana did help out. Yep, she did have. She was with me and a few other people on the barge.
Yeah.
It was some other folks, and then we had a couple others. We actually had more boats than we needed, which was really cool.
So how do we make arrangements to get the barge? Just get a hold of JR or?
We'll have to see if we can do that.
Okay.
That was the first time we'd ever done it. Yeah,
And
it
the
wasn't
barge, how
quite as
big of a
successful as
section of the barge did we have?
we had the whole barge.
Did we have the whole barge?
Yeah, he wasn't going to break it down.
Oh, okay.
So we had the whole barge. It didn't work as well as I'd hoped. Like, it's nice if you're out in the middle of the lake and you have a place to walk around, you're waiting for people to weigh in and stuff, but it wasn't quite the, this station that I was hoping it would be, where people would stop there and that would really question. And
So in your opinion, do you think we need it?
Not need. It's always a nice thing it's nice, but it's not a critical thing.
But I mean, it's kind of a pain in the butt to get the barge over there, right?
Yeah, he's got to move it. You want to, like, I met with him a couple days before and we figured out where to put it and all this kind of stuff. And then of course he put it out there the night before. And so the next morning when we got there, it was just covered in everything a goose and other bird could possibly leave on it. So we were literally just brooming it off and cleaning it off for the first half hour. But,
I know that we're using the barge for the fishing contest, and the barge is basically Wolverine Lake, but I do know they rent it out.
Yeah.
Do we have to pay for the rental of that for that day?
I don't know. That's one of the things we'd have to discuss with them and see what they would be willing to do.
Okay.
So,
I mean, I didn't know how that worked.
but I'll bring it up with them the next time I see him.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, then if we could move on to D, please, the corn roast. Mark and I will be meeting with Mr. Gilliam, the administrator. Dave, we found out that we as an entity are not allowed to hold raffles with a state license, that we, as a government agency, we cannot. So if we were to have a raffle, it would have to be someone, so like Lakes Area Youth League or something like that, who has a license to come in and hold a raffle. We cannot. But what we can do is the gifts that we do have already, like Diane already got 2 baskets. We can still use those as gifts. We just can't raffle them.
What does that include, like 50-50?
Like forever. I mean,
The
we've
village-
always had
Yes,
The village is not supposed to take
Money.
receive proceeds from any kind of game of chance or anything like that. So the way to do it is to have it be, whether it's Laya or On and Up or the Eagles or somebody, who is a 501c3, they can register. They would be the ones to receive the proceeds. So we could still have the raffles and everything else, but it just would not go into village coffers.
Could we use it? Could the Onward and Upward, that 501c? Do it?
That would be a possibility, and that's something that I'll check with them on. But first, Julie and I figured we would meet with Dave, make sure that that would be kosher in his opinion and stuff before we start asking nonprofits to hold raffles. Because at the end of the day, we usually take the 50-50 money and donate it anyways. So
yeah.
it's just a matter of, you cannot. It was very specific that the money cannot go, it has to go into the nonprofits coffers. It cannot go to the village in any way and then go to somebody else. It has to be a direct system so that we can invite them and we can have them there to technically be the ones doing it. But so that's how it is.
So the raffle will be in some way, hopefully, if not, then we're going to have the hospitality house. There will be a can drive for that. That will.
Well, Hospitality House could do it.
Right.
Mark, yeah, can we hold the raffle? Or do we need to have a representative from the?
Yeah, I don't know that rule specifically. Like, could we hold it for them, or do we need to have a member of their entity? I'm not
Right.
sure. I'm certain we could do it as volunteers and, collect the funds or whatever, and then give that to them. I don't see how that would be a problem, but I don't know if it's specifically, you'd have to have a representative of theirs on hand to do it. That's something we're gonna figure out.
Yeah, because if we can do that, maybe we can just, if we can
Right.
collect the funds and then submit it to the group or write a check, however we do that. I don't know if we need to keep, the paper on paper, keep it separate or use cash or however it needs to be.
Well, we do, and the good news is we use cash in the first place. And so it would be really easy just to hand them the cash, as opposed to having like a check or something, or Venmoing them the money or something weird. But so yeah, I mean, it seems like it's something that we can do and we can manage in that way. Because at the end of the day, it's just about the fact that the raffles are fun and people enjoy them. They were never a moneymaker or a critical component in that sense. So this way we're doing it legally and also still helping a worthwhile entity.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So Mark and I are gonna meet with Dave possibly Wednesday afternoon to go over the fine details, to find out what it is truly we will be allowed to do so that we can go further. We want to keep it legal and within boundaries, even though we always did it before and it was so successful. But also, is there anything else in that one? Okay, then
What about the,
I've got more to add to that. I was just wondering if,
okay, I thought you were gonna jump to the next topic. I'm sorry.
no. I had more to add, but I just didn't want to hop to the next one, have somebody already have a question. Okay, 2XL is on board. I checked with Chamberlain Ponies, and due to COVID, their prices have gone up $400. They want a $200 deposit instead of, they wanted 250. We had a $50 deposit. They will take the 50 off and 200, but that's gone up 400 due to the transportation. Gas is more, feeding is, the animals is more. I didn't feel that I could really make that decision so I'm asking for the board to, okay, to have Chamberlain Ponies for the additional cost of $400 more. And
I
then
agree with that. I think it was a good asset to have.
I do too.
for
It
the
went over really
corn
well last time.
Yeah.
okay, so if everybody's in agreement with that, then I will get with Mike, because Mike, after the 1st of July, will write them a check and we will have them booked.
Do it.
I just need
Do
a-
it.
Okay, all right. I just do we need a vote on that, Mark, or is it just an okay?
Well, we should release the budgeted funds for the corn
Well, yeah,
roast
yes.
so that we can start
Right,
writing checks for things, because we're gonna start booking stuff, and so will Paige and Tabitha, because they're gonna
Right.
start booking for the waste receptacle and stuff like that. So
okay, so that's phase 3 of the corn roast. I'd like to have a motion that we release funds for the corn roast so that we can start, so that he can pay, because it'll come out of the July fiscal budget. That's why he was waiting until July, because June ended and it was, yeah.
I make
so-
a motion that we release funds for the corn roast so we can start getting things going.
Anyone
Second.
Thank you. May we have a roll call, please?
Long Break,
Yes.
Jeremini,
yes,
Miller,
Yes.
Carico,
Yes.
Ingram,
Yes.
Torongo,
Yes.
Breakovich.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, thank you. And I also don't know, we're getting close we're gonna have the funds, so we'll get that in July. Council say okay in July. That means we'll have July and August, then September's around the bend. I'd really like to get maybe one more meeting in at least and figure out, are we going to have vendors? Because Mark was gonna look into vendors. And if so, or if he needs me to do something on that line so that we can kind of start planning it to get it all ready to go. Instead of waiting till August and finding like, oh my gosh, we don't have that many vendors, or we're gonna have food trucks, or I just, so I'd like to have one more corn roast meeting, or stay a little bit after on our next Parks and Rec meeting. It's up to you guys what you would like to do. Mark, what's good with any of you?
Well, I think we should like start getting vendors now. I don't know why we need to have a meeting for it, do we?
I've already got a few lined up.
I've got one I know of
The big
that would
question
probably do
I
it.
would want to know is, do we want to, we were talking about it a little bit, but our current fee is $15. Do we want to raise it? And then would we want, if we do raise it, would we want to have like a a lower fee for our regulars and then have that higher fee for new entrants or something like that. And,
I think we should just have it one price for everybody.
Okay.
You're not
sounds good.
discriminating against,
It's easier to manage.
yeah. I say 20, 25 bucks. I mean,
I mean,
Yeah,
didn't people make the comment at the last one that our fee was
Yes.
fairly inexpensive?
We're
So
cheap.
I agree with Diane that,
We're
the
cheap.
2025 would seem reasonable. I mean, don't do those, but
So 25?
25.
Okay.
So too, do we need to take a vote on that? It's
No,
mine. Okay,
no, it's not. It's not money we're spending. It's money we're charging. But
All right.
I'll let Paige know because she has the full application, and that's why, because the application has to be updated with a new fee.
Okay.
and then also we're having the petting zoo as well as the horse. We're having the full package. The petting zoo, do you want to charge for, like, I think with the bracelets, I don't know, what did they go, 250 or $3 a bracelet?
We charged 3 last time.
Okay,
And again, we thought it was cheap and that we should raise the price. That was kind of what we were thinking after the fact.
so anybody have any ideas, like at least 5 or?
I would say five.
my thought about it is, maybe $3 is cheap, but isn't this also what the village is putting on kind of for goodwill? And I
Oh,
mean, do
yeah.
we really need the extra
Big-
dollars
well,
for it?
that's why
That's
we-
just my thought.
Well, I agree with you there. The only reason why we started charging in the first place is because the petting zoo in terms of cost, is a significantly larger cost than, or rather larger than what we were previously doing for the kids' stuff. So that was kind of why we kind of amped up what we were offering. And so there was kind of that goal to offset some of that cost by charging a fee for that. Was all encompassing, that $5. That included for all the kids' activities, not just the petting zoo. That included in our last time, we had the bounce houses, we had the crafts, we had the balloon artists and the face painting people and stuff too. So that was kind of where we came to that level, because we were going a little more, expanding the offering.
Well, I guess my thought is if we can afford it, to keep it maybe at the 3, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, you guys have a little more experience with the cost, what it was, for the petting, for the horses, for the bouncies, for the, everything, maybe it needs to be up or.
Well, I mean, we are, and
I don't
I
know.
think 5 does make sense also because we only did 3 hours with the petting zoo last time and the
Yes.
animals, and we are doing the full 5 this time.
Yes.
So there is additional cost there.
Okay,
So
just
I think
thoughts.
it does make sense I think 5 is a good number. Fair, very fair.
And that's just for the petting zoo, or is that for the whole kids area?
That would be for the whole kids.
Yeah. Because if somebody walks in with 3 kids,
I mean, that gets a little hefty.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you can ponder it the nice thing about that too is $5 is an even number. We don't have to start dealing change, because even if it's 20, you get
Right.
$3 back. With singles, I mean,
It gets messy.
yeah, and you gotta have somebody that can do the math while they're handing out tickets. That's not funny, but so
yeah, I think $5 is good.
okay, because it makes it even right across the board.
So do we have the contact information for the face painters and you say we had a balloon guy or?
We had a balloon person. Yeah, she was really good.
Do we have that contact information?
I'm certain we've got it. I can get it, or
Because we probably should contact them.
I already have.
work with her.
I
I
got
don't know
with
what her rates will
Julie.
be.
She gave me her information.
So. And these are all, we don't have to do these things. We can do these things. We don't have to
Well,
be.
it's
the
nice
same
to
person.
have a variety of things for them.
I agree. Just more
they-
activities
Oh,
makes
yeah.
it more interesting.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so then okay, so we got those covered. We got, does anybody have anything else to think about, what they would like, or?
Do we want to schedule another meeting so that we can, at the park, so that we can kind of,
Figure out who's gonna go where.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. I'm good with that. Yeah.
Okay, well, our next meeting will have to be at the village hall. We have to be downstairs in the council chambers, so we can,
We can't do meetings, we can do meetings off-site. Like,
oh, I was
legally.
told we had to do the council chamber.
Or probably Park and Rec, maybe?
For
For
Parks
our official meetings, yeah. I mean, but
Yeah.
for a planning meeting,
Okay,
I don't think that would be a problem for us to have it in the park.
okay, all righty. Well, does anybody have any ideas about time for anyone? Is a weekend better, a weeknight better, or since,
Weeknight,
I think weeknights are better personally.
yeah.
I'm free
I don't
anytime.
know, is my weekend.
Willing to see, if there's any particular, give people enough time to plan, like what, next Wednesday or Thursday or Tuesday, what works for anybody. I'm open. Set up a time so we've got it and we know to be there.
Well, next week is getting close to the holiday, so I don't know that that would be a good week to have it, because the 3rd,
It's
people are
quite-
planning for the fireworks on Saturday. Maybe we should, I don't know.
Maybe go for like the 6th, 7th, 8th, something like that of
We can-
July then.
We can
I
do
would
that.
say like July 12th. Is that our next meeting?
No.
No.
19.
Our next meeting is July
19th.
19th.
I would say, I would recommend the 12th, just because you're out of the holiday, if anybody goes away or that sort of thing like me.
You have fun and enjoy it. Well,
But
then
I don't have to be there.
we can put July 12th then at Clara Miller, 7, 6, which works good for anybody.
That's good for me.
Mark,
July
Molly,
12th at 7 would be fine.
July 12th, okay. July 12th at 7 o'clock, Clara Miller, and then we will by then know how many vendors we have, if anybody, because I noticed that the vendors in Walled Lake are now open. They've got that black top and they're back in business over there.
Yeah, that's where I go. I mean, that's where I get a lot of them. And also I spoke to the individual who sells us the corn. He's at the Walled Lake Farmers Market. So he knows that we are on the list. And he did tell me it was actually a good idea, because this year it is a little, everything's a little different.
Yeah.
With all that's going on with supplies and stuff. And he's got a backup farmer that he works with as well. If he doesn't have it, that guy has it, kind of thing. So.
Okay, and then Penny Lake's gonna do the rest of the stuff too, and
And then we can get with Penny Lake and talk to Kyle and work out what we want to have and everything else. And as always, I mean, they're just phenomenal to work with. So
they are. So we've kind of got a good ballpark, we just have to rein it in a bit, so we know.
Yeah. And then like in July, we can start looking at, counting out tables and chairs and all that kind of stuff that can give you a headache, but is important.
Well, I appreciate all your help, Mark, especially with you being on council and onwards and upwards and stuff. It's really nice. Thank you.
course,
Plus everybody else's help. Okay, then, so we've got the date set. So is there anything else anyone wants to talk about that? We all set then? If we could move on to, we did release funds, yes. Could we go on to E then, holiday decorating contest, please? Halloween and Christmas, Lori?
Probably have more to discuss maybe in August. We'll have dates and right now.
Okay, and then, so we'll go on to Diane, Snacks with Santa.
Yeah, same thing with snacks and Santa and letters to Santa. I'm not doing anything right now with that. So dates are set, then.
Yes, ma'am, we've got the dates.
Yeah.
Okay, so then anybody new additional events? Mitch, I know you were talking about you wanted to have a car show at the corn roast. The El George's every Saturday has a car show that they give 10% off their total bill. If there's a young lady that works at El George's, and she would be happy to, if you go in there, she can tell you how they got it started and what, if you wanted to, we could always hold just like a car show thing with maybe a couple vendors.
You know her name by chance?
Sandra. It's probably Sandra.
Yep.
And it's on Tuesday nights, not Saturdays. It's Tuesdays.
Oh, is it Tuesdays? I thought it was, okay, thank you very
Those
much.
Tuesdays. And yes, you give 10% off your bill if you bring a car up.
Yeah, so, it's not free, like we were giving free. But if you wanted to check into that, Mitch, and then if you wanted to set up some kind of a car show with with vendors or whatever, go forward with it.
Yeah, that'd be good. There'd be like we could do like some type of I don't want to say like an incentive, but some type of like you get 10% off your bill if you go to Al George's, right? We could think of something to integrate with that. That'd be a good idea.
You can
Okay.
also go to like Murray's and some of the other auto supply places and stuff like that. And they'll usually, either they may want to set up a booth or they'll provide you with some prizes and stuff if you want, if you're
Yeah.
interested in that. I do know that usually they're pretty good about that kind of stuff because the prizes are usually stuff that gets the car show owners back into their store. So,
Yeah,
Yes.
it'd be good for that and just for the businesses in the local area.
oh, yeah.
Advertising, maybe put some gift baskets together or something. Be a good idea.
Okay, well, if you want to check into that, that way you would be able to, let us know.
Yeah,
It's a good late fall project.
I'll
Early
do
fall.
that.
Okay, all righty then. If there's nothing, yes, ma'am. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought someone, okay, then we've got that done. We'll go on to pending business, the Veterans.
Oh, wait a minute, I forgot. I wanted to have that 5K fun run.
Yes, ma'am.
And I
Okay,
was out of town, so I'm gonna have to work on that, but I was thinking about having it on Labor Day.
okay,
So I gotta talk to Ellsworth. I did a couple routes for the 5K, and the one with the least amount of crossing roads would be to cross Benstein on the way there and on the way back. So I gotta talk to Ellsworth about that.
okay.
So anyway,
Well, now that it's paved, it'd be
Oh, yeah.
even faster getting across that.
yeah, yeah.
Nothing like a fresh paved road on the feet when you're running. It's so much
Yeah,
more-
right. Yeah. So anyway, so yeah, so I will follow up with Ellsworth on that and let you know what he says.
Okay, well,
So-
thank you very much. Yes,
I wanted to mention something. So this past week, I met with this. She owns a couple of Remaxes here in Michigan, and they do this event in Rochester where she's a real estate broker where they do movies in the moonlight is what it's called. So they get a big TV projector. And for like a month, I think it's 2 months, they'll play like different genres of movies. So they'll have different businesses in, Rochester, surrounding areas come in, they can do the promotions, but they pay for it all the other businesses do. Just to get some sponsorship and some community like ideas. So I was thinking about it, like if I can somehow come get some businesses together to do something like that. I'm not sure the process we would need to follow to coordinate something like that, but I wanted to bring it up now since we're talking about things.
well, we used to try and get together with Movies in the Park, but we had trouble with the screen, getting a screen and the projector. But if you would like to pursue that and check into it, because we did try at one time to try and get something on that line, but it never came about.
It just didn't, okay. So
have-
what was the
It was just-
problem?
No, the problem, well, we were gonna use Commerce's stuff. If you
I
did
don't
move,
think Commerce has
Partners.
stuff.
yeah, they were going to let us have.
I think it was residents that had some of the stuff and then they sold some of it. It turns
It
out.
was Linda. It was
Yeah,
Linda's
Linda.
time.
And then there was also a guy who actually does go from like city to city with a screen and stuff. And I did talk to him and it just we can't quite deliver the numbers he needs in terms of people to attend. So that was kind of where that ended up falling. And then he went over to, I did send him Commerce's way and I don't know what happened, but it didn't work out.
Does Commerce do some type of event like this?
The only thing Commerce does is music, concerts in the park. I don't believe they have any kind of movies in the park. The Village did them they did movies on the lake, of course, several years ago. And then or in the park. And then sometimes we still have movies in the lake, but that's done by JR. That's done privately for the public. But so it's something that certainly can be done. It's just, I think it is getting the work done, putting in the hour, figuring it out and seeing if you can wrangle the sponsors. Because that's sort of how that guy did it too, is he had all these sponsors lined up and they would be there and everything else. And so,
Okay, yeah.
and there
For
was the
me-
licensing fee. I think that was the other for the movie. That was
Yeah.
the other issue.
Well, if you'd like to look into that, Mitchell, and then get back with us, we can still plan on trying to do it.
Yeah, I'll do some research on it because there's a lot logistically like Mark was talking about. So I'd probably talk to the Linda Ray, the woman that I met, and see how she does it and go from there. That's how I would attack it.
Okay.
Yeah, if she does. She could probably save you a ton of hours.
Yeah, not
with her experience and stuff.
all of our times are valuable.
Yeah.
Yes. Time is precious. You cannot get it back. So we have 2 possible new events. We have a 5K run. We have maybe a car show, and we have also maybe a movie. So we've got some new things, new prospects to look into. Thank you guys for reinventing us. So if there's nothing else, we'll move on to Veterans Memorial. Congratulations, Mark, on a job well done. It was phenomenal.
Thanks. Yeah, we had our dedication a week ago, Sunday.
Mhm.
Feels like it's been longer. Had a really good turnout, easily over 200 people and stuff. So, and again, a big thank you to the veterans, the VFW Post 2269, who did everything and were a great help to us and everything else. Yeah, and it was a great day. Didn't
Can we
rain.
send them like a thank you note or something?
We think that we did all that. So
Okay.
yeah, we were
Do
working
you
with that.
have
a lot.
access to any of the pictures that Kelly posted so that, I don't know if anybody saw the pictures of,
Not immediately, I don't.
okay.
They were on Facebook.
Were they? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're on Facebook.
And Channel 7 had a little blurb
Yes.
also.
Channel 7 was there, which is pretty cool. So
Oh,
we
yeah, that's
we
cool.
actually did get on to the actual TV, the actual news and all that. And yeah, and then yeah, it was a nice day. Hot, but it was a nice day. And a very positive response from the public.
We had a guy that traveled, was it 1,500 miles?
1,500, 1,700, way too many miles
Wow.
to
He
miss it.
arrived there 10 minutes after.
He got there at about 11:35.
Oh,
It ended at about
no.
11:25 because his hotel did not give him his 4 a.m. wake up call, and his phone had rebooted.
Hard.
So his alarm, his wake up call, and then his backup alarm both failed him.
Oh.
He came from
Poor
Florida.
guy.
Yeah. And he was coming up for that. So that was pretty neat. I mean, we had people, these vets that you see, like we had a veteran who lives in the village, and he has, in the past year, he suffered a stroke, but he was when they presented the colors, when they were raising the flags, he was gonna stand for it. I
Bless
mean,
his heart.
and it was just, and that's what makes this, just a really unique thing for the community and everything, and seeing that kind of response. So, yeah, and all the new pavers are in that we had ordered and everything. All the bricks are in. So,
Oh, yeah. I guess, are they supposed to get their certificates? And
I have them, and I will be letting people know where they can get them. I just discovered that I had the bricks in my car still, because I put them on the floor in order to fit everything in there, and I just forgot I had it. So I'll be dropping those off tomorrow at the village and stuff, and then I'll be sending out emails to everybody.
Well, it was a job well done. The whole gangbusters did phenomenal. It's very beautiful. Every time I go by there, my heart just soars and I kind of get tears in my eyes because it's so beautiful for the memories. Is there any other updates for veterans? Then we'll move on to beautification. As you can see, there are not many plants planted. Due to the DPW, only 2 people, it's kind of hard for 2 to do a lot. So beautification is going to start doing things more towards the fall, give the plants a chance to establish themselves, and maybe we'll get some DPW people back that can also help out. So without the watering, and I can't go around jugging it to all these planters. It's just kind of put on hold. Armenia was done. There's 3 different kinds of milkweed in there. There's a lavender plant in there. I've got the list in my purse. It really has grown up. It looks nice. I have to go over and weed it a bit this week. Some flowers were planted at the village and the berm was redone. It was all weeded, and so the village kind of looks nice. The village hall, not as good as it could really look, but I noticed Andy was power washing one day. So it's kind of looking good, I think. But that's where beautification stands. If anybody has any ideas or, and also I would like to, I know the budget for beautification will be released for the fiscal year after July. I got 200, Mark you guys are gracious. That covered the cost of the plants. And then I will still, before the end of this month, I will get the wheelbarrow and a straight and a regular shovel and some hand tools for the 500, because I only have till the end of June to do so. So is there any other questions or? I appreciate your support. It's been a different year this year. So we can move on then to Armenia Park. And Mark, do I have to release funds for the fall? No, because I can do that in July.
We'll do it, yeah, and you're
Just
good.
do it in July or August. Well, do it in
Figure out
July.
what we're gonna do and everything for
Yeah.
that too and stuff. And of course, you can get together with Bill about the splitting and all that of what he's got.
Yes, Mr. O'Brien was very, very gracious. He's got all kinds of Stella de Oro lilies, which is what I wanted to plant for the most part because they grow nice. They're strong and steady, and being he's had his a couple years, that means they're well established. So I will go over to his yard sometime early fall and dig up and split the bulbs and bring the bulbs and replant them in our village. So that alleviates some of the costs there. But thank you, Bill, very much for your kind and generous offer. And so we will then move on to, I guess, Armenia Park.
The stuff's been ordered. It'll be a while,
Okay,
the swing set and everything, but it's gonna be a bit. So
Did they give you any kind of time frame, Mark?
10 to 12 weeks. So, but again, if they give you 10 to 12 weeks, it could be 2 weeks earlier or a month later.
Right.
With what's going on right now.
Approximately.
It's very much, yeah, it's just so right now, everything is, I mean, with the same with the memorial stuff that we thought we would have in a month before the dedication just is now in August kind of thing. So
Glad I'm not in supply chain.
yeah, we're at the mercy of, these ports and they're just packed with containers and stuff, and gigantic cargo ships are just sitting. I mean, who knows? I mean, half our stuff could be just sitting there waiting a month in the Pacific Ocean.
There's been a port in, I think, China. It's been shut down 2
Yep.
months now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
something
one
like that.
too.
Yeah.
So we're all suffering the same issues.
okay. So again, the garden is planted at Armenia. I will go over and weed it, and by God's grace, Kathy, Bonnie, my friends from school, she happens to live in that house. So her husband's trying to help out too in keeping it watered.
Oh, that's nice.
Should be in pretty good shape right now after all the rain we've had
Yeah.
the last few days.
Yes, thank God.
Anyone else lose power?
No,
Mhm. Well, I
Ah,
lost internet.
I did.
for an hour.
I just got it back at 11. It went out at like 9 last night.
Oh, geez.
Wow.
Same here.
oh
I
my
would have
God.
moved. That's what happened to me.
Well, everything's going well then. I'm glad everybody's got their power back on. All we need power for is lights and fans because we don't have air, so we don't have to always, we don't have to worry about the dreaded heat. But, okay, then thank you very much for the Armenia. Could we go on to fitness, the equipment at Claire Miller Park, the grants?
That's, we're just waiting to hear back from them in the next few months or so, once they get everything straightened out on their next round of grant opportunities, and to see if it would still be a fit.
Okay. then we will move on to Pickleball. Mark and I met with Mr. Gilliam, and we met with Mr. McHugh also. We kind of came to a meeting of the minds that he could have Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 6 to dusk or whatever, Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 12. He's been changing his hours, which, you know, that's not the, he does eventually supposedly want to take over our basketball and rollerblade courts, but they've maxed out at 17 right now, which I don't feel is a tremendous number to start taking away courts from our children, especially when they can go use the schools. All schools, Central, Western, and Northern, the tennis courts are open full time all summer. There's no closing. So there's other places to play pickleball. So it's not like we're limiting this growth of pickleball. So I guess on Wednesday, when we go see Dave about, we can bring it up again. I don't know how everybody else feels, but 17 is not a huge number to all of a sudden start taking away our courts for our kids.
What hours did you say it was on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday?
Well, when he's there, supposedly he changes his hours. We gave him 3 days and he's there, you know, as long as he doesn't take over and does not allow our village people to play, he gets from 6 to dusk. Supposedly 3 days a week, and then Saturdays and Sundays he gets from 10 to 12.
So what do you mean by doesn't, repeat that, what you said, doesn't allow the residents to what?
Just can't be exclusionary.
Right.
So for example, should somebody already be in there playing tennis, he can't kick them off.
You can't boot them off, got it,
On the
okay.
other hand, you know, it's generally accepted. So I don't know if you saw the village sent out an email about the pickleball club. JR did as well about it and things like that. And it was just kind of an agreement that this would be the times that he would use.
Okay,
Be respectful of that. And Dave Gillum was really helpful and just kind of, this is what's allowed, this what isn't, and so forth. Of course, the big reason why our courts get so heavily used for pickleball is they are pretty much some of the only courts that are striped with the pickleball striping. So it's maybe something that could be brought up with either the schools or with some of the Commerce Township parks that have tennis courts as well. And that'd be a potential option because it does turn out, Dave did let us know, McHugh, there is a Commerce Township pickleball club and they come to our courts, the Wolverine Lake courts, to use them for that. And it turns out they are not, I guess in this situation, they were not always as welcoming of the Wolverine Lake members or something like that. So they could be the people that are changing the hours or make it seem like the hours are changing kind of thing. I don't know. But it's definitely one of those things is there's more interest than there are striped courts. And so it may simply be an issue of encouraging some of the surrounding communities to get some striping down on their tennis courts because it doesn't interfere with tennis either. And that's, you know, it's not like you can't play tennis on a striped court. It can be dual striped. And that might actually help to really alleviate some of these issues and things of crowding.
Well, our park is so big. Why don't we just put a new court in somewhere, especially like where the horseshoe things are, like nobody ever uses that stuff.
Well, there's no post.
Well, that's what I mean. You have to bring your own stuff. I mean,
no, it's not a very effective attraction.
I know, it's really kind of silly. It's
well,
like,
that's a matter of cost. I mean, that's a long-term solution.
Yeah.
And we were trying to work out more. These, you know, striping of an existing court is a far shorter term, quicker solution than adding a court.
Yeah, but if you don't want to, like Julia says, I don't want to take it away from the kids' basketball or hockey or whatever. So you have plenty of area. I don't know what it would cost to do that, but
it would have to be brought before.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. It'd be a capital expense. That's that isn't. And of course, when you look at our current tennis courts, I'm just concerned that we would really have to do them differently because there is a foundation issue with our current ones. I mean, with all that cracking that keeps happening.
Yeah.
Certainly, I would like to see if we ever do anything like that again, we get something where it stays a little more solid and doesn't break down so easily or so quickly.
Well, I did check into the schools for the gentleman, and if he gets a hold of the director, the athletic director, he could see about having the courts possibly done up pickleball to use it as a school sport as well, not just for people coming off the streets playing. I don't know if he has done that yet. I gave him that suggestion. And then again, too, there's all the schools, the courts are all available. So it's not like he even has to have a time schedule to go over to the courts. He can just go to them in the school. But his main thing is we're closer. But
Central's not that far away, folks. There's
exactly. I mean, it's not like we're saying he can't do it. It's just we're saying there's 3 schools within 10 minutes, 15 minutes max that have tennis courts that they could play anytime to their little heart's desire. So I don't see us bending over backwards like that and giving our tennis. Okay, I'm probably going to get myself in trouble for saying that, but I've already started. When there's other options available, I don't see where we should have to be the ones to do the sacrificing. He needs to venture further out and try and find other avenues to pursue this. Right now he has 17 members. His goal is to have at least 250. Well, you know what? Then there's other avenues to pursue for places to play, especially if Commerce is coming over here too. I don't know how anybody else feels, but we're not saying no, we're just saying pursue other avenues besides Village of Wolverine Lake. If you guys
I mean, we're a public park, but we have our 2 tennis courts and that's what we've got. We don't have, just another tennis court sitting there. Any expansion is a capital expense. It's essentially technically would be considered a luxury to do that. So that's not something you're going to do in a year. That is something that's going to take planning and you look at our master plan. We've got things on that list that are coming first.
Thank you.
The
Yes.
playground equipment,
Yes.
things like that before so we do need to be cognizant of that. And yeah, absolutely. If they can raise the funds to build one, hey, then I think we could work something. But there is, I think there's a lot of tennis courts out there. They just aren't striped for pickleball. I think that's a easier solution and might be a angle of pursuit to take that, because that's something that can be done within a year as opposed to within 5 years.
Yeah. The village residents would better from something else. I think we should look at that. If there's a huge commerce following, I think we should focus more on the residents here in the village.
I agree. Our village, there's plenty to go. And this guy, he's got dreams, and it's nice to have a dream, and it's nice to follow and pursue it, but you also have to be realistic. Because if we, and if they did raise the funds and they did put a pickleball court over there, that's 4 more courts. And then they're going to want to have a shed of some kind to store all their equipment in. And these are his goals. So it is going to be a big expenditure to accommodate when there's so many other fields available. But anyways, we can beat a dead horse. So does anybody have anything else to say? I mean, I can go to, when I see Dave on Wednesday, is there anything anybody wants me to ask him or say to him?
No, I think you're fair with giving him the times that, we have. I mean, he's got 5 days.
Right. And 17 people, you figure if everybody drives, if 2 drive a car, that's 8 cars minimum. That's not a very big parking lot over there. And if 17 people drive, then it's really packed in over there. So we're talking also parking.
And you have to be cognizant of the residents who live near there.
Yes, thank you very much. So anyway, so if nobody wants, then we'll just kind of play it out and see. And I don't think he was not giving any permission to go tape the rollerblade courts or anything.
No, he was not. Only the
Only the
tennis court.
Yeah, only the
Let it
tennis
do a
court was the only one he was
little
permitted
section.
to tape.
Is that temporary? Does he have to put that down to each time?
No, he can leave the tape down and then the tape just can't be, I mean, it's not going to damage the surface. And then he's got a temporary net that he owns and he erects for when he needs to use it. And Dave Gillum was fine with that. And I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be for when they're doing their thing, but.
For 17 people, I do not see invading the space of our teenagers at the park. That's my vote. But if nobody has any ideas to bring to Dave, we'll just let the sleeping dogs lie and see where it heads. If
So
that's-
when they tape, I don't play pickleball, so I don't play tennis, so I know nothing about either one other than, so if you stripe the pickleball court, does that interfere with people playing tennis, like where the lines are and stuff like that?
To a
I was
degree,
told yes.
yeah, it does a little bit. Pickleball is a much smaller court. So, I mean, the lines you're not going to get too confused if you're playing tennis with the ones on the pickleball, but then.
Are they a
the
different
tape does.
color, or, I mean, again, I don't know,
Yeah,
I
they
don't
are.
play it.
I
so.
believe, if I recall, they are. I haven't played it in a couple of years. But they are. It's not a hugely, I don't think I mean, again, nobody's coming to our courts to play competitive tennis. So it makes sense. I actually like that we have it striped for two different things. Give people the opportunity to do multiple activities on these things. And but yeah, it does overlap for sure, obviously.
Okay.
But we do have the space in the regulation to tennis courts that he's able to put on the side, tape in a
training court.
temporary, a training court is what he's using it for the newbies.
Okay.
So just leave him where he's at and he can keep expanding and,
I'll talk, I'll give him a call tomorrow because he did talk, he gave me a call right before our meeting. But yeah.
all right, well, I thank you for
Well,
handling that, Mark, because, all righty, so then we just buried the horse. Now we'll go on to liaison reports. Planning, do we have planning anywhere? No. Okay, do we have council, Mark?
Sure. Didn't get to it earlier in regards to the storage room and stuff that's attached to the bathrooms. The counter and sink are on big shock back order. So it's going to be like 3 months, unfortunately, but it is, the other option was 3 times the price. And we're not, I mean, we've been using picnic tables for a long time.
Yep.
We can use picnic tables for a few more months for something that's going to be there for hopefully several decades. And then I know there was some issues with the plumbing inspection that they've been getting through and getting done with, but the bathrooms are open and everything in running. So that's good. Last week, we had a special meeting to interview a couple of candidates for the treasurer position. And we did select a new person to become treasurer, and it appears she has accepted the offer and everything.
Oh, great.
So in July, we may have a contract at the council meeting and everything else. So yeah, we were making some progress there. She's a village resident, and both people were really good, and it was kind of nice to actually have a choice to make and everything else. And so hopefully this will work out, and we'll be working with a new person in the next few months. Luckily, of course, we have Mike Conduct still willing to work, stay on, and he will, of course, be willing to work with her and helping with the transition.
Bless
and
his
everything
heart.
else too. So
Is council
Yeah.
planning anything for him for his retirement and his many,
I'm
many?
certain, but nothing that we've formally discussed, but I'm certain there will be certain things done for Mike, well-deserved things.
Well, if we could,
he's been
press record beautification can do anything, let us know, Mark.
Absolutely, thank you. And then I think those were the 2 big things. Oh, in case you guys are curious, we had the vote on the gas station potentially being put in, and we trimmed that down. We agreed with the recommendation from the planning commission to trim it down.
Okay.
Mark, I have a question regarding the countertops. What is the product made of?
Steel,
Steel?
yeah, stainless. So
Okay.
it's a counter sink included thing. So,
Mhm.
and it was a really good price.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that's why it's on
That's
back
right.
order.
That's all right. Like you said, it'll stand the test of time. It's steel and it'll be there for decades. Well, Mark, very good. It seems like you are on so many things. I can't thank you enough for keeping us all updated on everything. And as well as everybody else for all their help. A very special thank you. Do we have anyone from Commerce Parks and Rec? No. Did anything ever come of a liaison from us to them, or was that kind of kiboshed?
That's going on. They're doing interviews,
Okay.
commerces.
Okay, from village residents or?
Yes.
Okay, so then the liaison would then become a part of our board?
No, the liaison will be a village resident who serves on their board. And then
Okay,
can
And
report
then-
back to us or however.
okay. All righty, well, that's great. So do we have anybody from the public that would like to comment?
There are no public callers at this time.
Okay, John, thank you. Do we have any comments from board members?
I don't know if it's a comment. I have a quick question in general. With all our activities, whether it be the fishing contest, Tuesdays in the park, corn roast coming. I know some young people like who are National Honor Societies or even Junior National Honor Society. How do they go about like maybe volunteering and getting certificates to get their hours in?
If they want to help
So they
out,
did it. Pardon
if
me?
they want to help out like with one of our programs, with one of our events, they can just contact us, contact the village,
Mhm.
and we will get them scheduled. And then they usually have a form for one of us to sign. So we did do that at the corn roast in 2019. And yeah, I mean, it worked out really well.
Okay,
We had quite a few kids and they were great. And yeah, we will always, if we can get volunteers like that.
okay.
do a good job.
I was asked about that and I wasn't certain, so. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna need for Tuesdays in the park for tomorrow. I mean, it's the first one. We'll just
Probably
see how
not.
it goes.
I mean,
And
it's
then,
gonna be a little different, but definitely for like the corn roast,
uh-huh,
we can always use
Okay.
helping hands, willing people.
all right, thank you.
And if you wouldn't mind, I had one more thing. Chief Ellsworth called me today. There's a young lady who needs to have volunteer hours due to community service. And I know we used to have community service programs and she's not dangerous. She's not a criminal. She just needs some community for being a stupid teenager, I guess. Anyways, would it be okay for us to for her to come to our events and get a couple hours towards her service? Are you guys okay with that idea?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay, because I told Chief I did not see where there would be a problem, but I would run it by you because this young lady will be there tomorrow to help us with
Sure.
Tuesdays in the park. And then anything else, if anybody has any, I think it's a good thing to reach out to our community and help our kids like that if we can.
Mhm.
Okay, well, I thank you for your support for that then. So this young lady will be over there tomorrow. And thank you for that very much. So I guess our next scheduled meeting, if you ladies want to doll up or men want to, we're going to be like council. We will be videoed as well as recorded. So we will be on television, I guess you could say. And so it'll be July 19th, the council chambers at 7:00. So no more virtual. And again, thank you for all that you've done, our virtual young man, our Zoom man. So I guess we could,
Thanks, John.
pardon me?
Thanks,
Oh,
Jen.
thanks, John. I really appreciate that. Appreciate all that everybody does. So could I have a motion to adjourn the meeting then?
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Okay, could we have an poll, please, and thank you?
Roll call. Long Break,
Yes.
Carico,
Yes.
Jeremini,
Yes.
Ingram,
Yes.
Breakovich,
Yes.
Torongo,
Yes.
Miller.
Yes, ma'am. So I will look forward to seeing y'all July 12th before the meeting then on the 19th at Claire Miller at 7. And thank y'all for your time. Time is precious. You guys are all precious to me, and have a blessed evening.
See a
Thanks,
bunch of you tomorrow.
Julia.
Bye.
Good night and
Thank you.
thank you.
Right.